Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's live trading. I hope you're very well. It's actually 12:30. I've only just started the recording because I had no intention of trading this morning when we've got non-farm payrolls coming out in an hour's time. So this is the daily chart of the euro dollar. We've got non-farm payrolls coming out, and I will look to trade it. I know euro non-farm payrolls can be a bit messy, but we'll see. The euro dollar has broken to the downside here on the daily chart. So what I'm going to be looking to do is sell the euro at some point. So it's not to say it can't spike up or whatever, but I'll be looking for opportunities to sell the euro dollar today. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and the euro, comes all the way back up again. But generally, what happened yesterday, we had the ECB yesterday, and the ECB announced more measures to help banks out, and so that was obviously seen to be monetary easing, and as a result, we've seen the euro fall against the dollar and against other currencies. So I don't suppose the non-farm payrolls are. We don't know if they could come out weaker. Of course, we'll have to see how the non-farm payrolls come out. I'll have a look and see what they're expected to do shortly. But even with that being said, the US is doing better than the euro at the moment, and so but there are always other reasons why a market can still go and do the opposite. But anyway, the pressure currently is to the downside, so I'm going to be looking to short the euro in an hour, sometime after those non-farm payrolls are out in about an hour's time. So we'll come back to it then. Okay, just back, and we've got just about a couple of minutes to go until the non-farm payrolls are out. So I'm looking at a 4-hour chart here at the moment of the euro dollar. The potentials, what's the potentials? To come up into this zone up here, sort of in the anywhere from 112.30 odd into this whole area of 112.40, 50 zone, spikes into that zone. So I'll be looking at those, and then looking for some sort of reversals at some point. So not looking to trade as it all kicks off, so to speak, necessarily. But just watching the price in action initially, and then see if we do spike up, and then if we look like we're going to reverse, then I'll do something then. I'll be watching the volume off the screen and all that. Not that's really going to have too much of an impact because the volume's going to be high anyway on the news. But so I'll be taking this down to a 5-minute chart. There we go. We're starting to spike around a little bit even on the 5-minute here. But I'll press pause and we'll come back to this in a moment. Oh, one thing, because of the nature of this, what I'm going to be doing is splitting all my entries down so that I can then look at taking profits separately and all that. So I'll be putting in, I've got my deal ticket ready, but I'll be splitting those entries down as well, so I can put multiple entries in. Okay, right, press pause for now. Actually, we've only got less than a minute to go, so I'm saying that, but yeah, it's all going to be going shortly. So let me bring up a deal ticket. So I've got one ready. Let's have it just there so I can actually click on it. If I want to click on the chart, it'll disappear, you see. So but like I said, I'm not necessarily going to be doing anything immediately, but I'm having to go with the short side. The euro got into some sort of support, trend channel line support yesterday, but overall going to have to go with that that short side, generally speaking. So we're just going to see now is what's going to happen. So we've got, I don't know, it's hard to say. The clock that I have on my e-signal charts here is not always completely accurate. But anyway, I'll press pause and we'll come back. Okay, so payrolls are out. We're spiking up. So looking for a spike up. So that's what we're looking for. We're into that resistance zone that I've talked about. So I'm going to put a unit in here. 33. Right, 34. First unit in. Now, I can be quite relaxed about this because I'm putting in half lot sizes here, and I can put, and I'm going to edge my way into a position. So I'll come back to this in a moment. So I'm still going with the overall trend. We've had the initial reaction up, and it could be that the euro dollar just holds up a bit today. It holds up, doesn't go crazily higher, but it holds up. So so we'll see. Let me see what the news is. I haven't seen what we've come in at as yet. They've come in at, oh blimey, they came in at 20,000 as opposed to 180,000 expected. So they were way off. But we have to take into consideration the weather that we had over in the US, poor weather over the winter and stuff, and the government shutdowns as well. Anyway, it was still way under the consensus. So anyway, I got that short in so far, up there at 34 while I've been talking here. I've said where the resistance zone is. I will add to this short at some point here. So let's keep an eye on it and see if I can put some other shorts in. It looks like it's gone up a bit. So let's put another short in here, a bit lower down. That's fine because it's the short side I wanted to be on. So I've got 2 units in now, 2 half units in, should I say. And I was hoping it was going to hold up a bit longer, but we'll see. It might still come up again yet. And then I can then build the position. So I'm looking to build this position a little bit on the short side. That's the plan. As I've said, the plan is to trade in line with the price action that we've had yesterday. We've come up a bit. Those are disappointing numbers, but and it's certainly at the low end of the range. So it'd be interesting to see whether this just holds up a bit today. So I've got a second unit in. So I've got one in at 34, one at 24. Both I think are reasonable levels, but we're now just going to wait and see what happens for a bit here before I put the extra units in. But it could be, the one thing to reiterate, it could be that the euro dollar holds up here today. So I'm trading this as as day trading, but at the same time it's sort of intraday entries, but realistically I want to be trading these for a retest of the lows. So if we were to hold up here today, then I'll just hold on to it going into next week and then see if it comes down and wants to retest those lows into next week. So okay, I'm just having a look here what any other news there at the moment. No, nothing too much at the moment. So I'll press pause for a second. So at the moment we've just back here. At the moment we've just sort of settling off, and we're back down at 112.15 now. If I even take this down to a 5-minute chart, you can see what's happened. So I shorted it when we were spiking up there. Like I said, because we were coming up into these prior lows, and so that's why I wanted to short it into that zone. I would have liked to have added some more if it had come up a bit more, because you've got to allow it to hold up here, and it could have very easily held up and gone a bit higher, and it may still do that yet. So I'm holding the ammunition back. I've only got those 2 half lots in at the moment, and just seeing how it's going to go. So it could be that if it comes up into the 112.60 zone, I want to build this position a little bit, and then I'll put the stop in somewhere above 113 once I've got my total position in. So let's just see. So it's a intraday trading, but with a twist, I guess, because I'm sort of looking at this as a, well, okay, let's just see. I'd like to see if this is going to come, that low should at some point want to get retested, this whole zone, this low zone from yesterday down there. So if it doesn't do it this afternoon, then I'll hold it on into next week. So anyway, I guess I'll press pause and we'll see if I get to put some more in, because realistically I can't keep on. I'm not going to carry on putting more in down here just in case it does decide. Looking at that 4-hour chart there, it's certainly got the scope if it wanted to carry on retracing over the next several 4-hour bars. Obviously that takes us into early part of next week. It could comfortably do a bit more of a retrace and then still come over for a retest. So I'm having to allow for that. Anyway, I'll press pause for now. Just back here, and it's looking at the across the time frames here. That's the 5-minute on the right hand side here. Although it's coming off a bit, I don't think there's going to be enough price action, if you see what I mean, at the moment, to warrant chasing this down, so to speak, and building more shorts, because it could just hang around. So we'll see how we go. I'll press pause and we'll come back to this later. It's 5-2 now. So yes, it's the position is working so far, but when I look at the bigger picture, we've not had much. We've had a nice little retrace here. This is the 4-hour charts, but I don't think this could still overall retrace some more, maybe into the early part of next week before it then rolls over. We'll have to see. If it rolls over from here, great, but we didn't spike up enough in order for me to get a couple more units in, which would have been nicer. So for now, we'll press pause, just see how this gets on, but I don't think there's too much to do at the moment. So not enough volatility apart from the little spikes that we had at the time. It all seems to have steadied itself down, and so we'll see what happens. Okay, just oh cracky, we're at 2:30 now. I'm sitting here doing some other work and seeing that the euro's holding up generally speaking. If we go back to the 4-hour chart, we can see it's just generally holding up, sitting at 112.27 or so at the moment. It could still come up a bit more yet, but at the same time, it's sort of done okay. I'm going to put another unit in just because I only got these, half lotters in at the moment, so it's not come up enough. There we go, so third unit in. So I want to at least get some more positions in, and then I can always do some more stuff into early part of next week. But so at least I've got 1.5 lots in, and we'll see how that goes, because I'm still giving it room to breathe, but at the same time I've still got a very small position in at the moment, so that's why I've just put the extra 1 unit in. So anyway, I'll come back to this later on today. Okay, finally just got back here. It's now 8 o'clock in the evening, so I'll probably get this uploaded, or maybe at some point over the weekend. It doesn't really matter now. So this is the daily chart here, and we can see that the euro, what I was wanting to happen, what my preference would have been for it to have come up exactly to where we are roughly. We're at 112.41 at the moment, and then react from this area and then sell off a bit, which it could still do. Still got 2 hours into the close, but it's unlikely now at this time of night. So so it's an interesting one. We're going to finish with a bull harami type candle. So before we know it, we could be coming up a little bit more into the early part of next week. It does not change anything. The market could come up a little bit more and then still roll over. So let me show you my positions here. So there's the 3 positions. Okay, it doesn't really matter too much. Okay. Oops, not even taking a good screenshot there. Never mind. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so here's the 3 positions that I took earlier on at 33. Then I got that one at 25 and 26. So, yeah, that's where they are at the moment as it stands. So I'm holding on to these, like I said earlier on today. So if we go to the 4-hour chart now, like I said, it puts it into perspective looking at the 4-hour chart. We are still into that prior support area at the moment. We could still go a bit higher, I think, into next week, even if it is going to come off. That's the way it looks, but just wasn't worth just coming out when we did have the initial reaction from when I first got in earlier today, and got in the 30s, and it came down into the teens, and yes, you could have banked 15, 20 pips or whatever. It's just not worth it. So yeah, so I'm going to hold on to this and see how this gets on into the earlier part of next week. So a live trading session, but hardly any not any day trading anyway, so as it's turned out. Anyway, I shall leave that with you. Have a lovely weekend. I'm probably going to get this uploaded either tonight or on Sunday when I get back from London. So see you next week.